Government and Constitution Unit Test. This unit, between 1787 and 1789, a major controversy between the Federalists and Anti-Federalists focused primarily on A. Expansion of slavery into the territories. B. The wisdom of creating a two-house legislature. Or D. The issues of the new U.S. Constitution. Number 2. In what year was the Constitutional Convention held? A. 1776, C. 1787, D. 1803. Number 3. Which set of events is listed in chronological time order? So what is the correct order of events? Is it B, first Declaration of Independence, then Articles of Confederation, then U.S. Constitution? C, Articles of Confederation, then the U.S. Constitution, then they declared independence? D, the U.S. Constitution, then the Declaration of Independence, and then the Articles of Confederation? What is the correct time order? Number 4. Which compromise is described in these statements above? We have disagreement over how states should be represented in the national legislature. In the House of Representatives, states would be represented based on the size of their population. In the Senate, all states, regardless of their size, would have equal representation. So we have the House of Representatives and the Senate, based on the size of the population, based on equal amount of representation. Is this the A, Great Compromise, B, 3/5 Compromise, or D, Compromise of 1820? Which of these have you heard of that could be involving the House of Representatives and the Senate? Number 5. The 3/5 Compromise was included to solve the problem of A, the number of votes needed to approve a treaty in the Senate. B, number of states needed to ratify a proposed amendment. Or D, counting of slaves for purposes of taxation representation. 3/5 Compromise. What does that have to do with? Number 6. Federalism deals with the division of power between the blank and blank. What are they dividing the power between in federalism? Is it A, President and Congress, C, the national and the state governments, or D, the 3 branches of government? Federalism. What is federalism dealing with? Number 7. What was the key point used by the Federalists for approving the U.S. Constitution? So what was their point? B, it provided for construction of a new capital in the South. C, it allowed the slave trade to continue for at least 20 more years. Or D, it had features that stopped the abuse of government power. Why were the Federalists for approving the U.S. Constitution? Which of these 3 reasons was why they wanted the Constitution? Number 8. Which historic document was written in support of approving the U.S. Constitution? So which one of these documents was in favor of the U.S. Constitution? A, Magna Carta, C, Declaration of Independence, D, the Federalist Papers. Which of these 3 was in favor of the U.S. Constitution? Number 9. Which constitutional principle is discussed in this quotation? The nation deserves, and I, being President George Bush, will select a Supreme Court justice in the judicial branch that Americans can be proud of. The nation also deserves a dignified process of confirmation in the United States Senate, which is a legislature, characterized by fair treatment, executive branch. So you have judicial branch, legislature, and executive branch. And they're all working together. Is it B, checks and balances, C, separation of powers, or D, individual rights? Number 10. Which statement describes the national government under the U.S. Constitution? A, The powers of the national government were limited. They had limits. B. The Supreme Court had the authority to create lower courts. Or D. The states kept the most governmental powers. Number 11. There is no Declaration of Rights. Are the people secured even in the enjoyment of the benefit of the common law? The laws will be made by men little concerned with their efforts and consequences. There is no declaration of any kind for preserving the liberty of the press, trial by jury, nor against the danger of standing armies in time of peace. The author of this excerpt most likely have A. supported the Constitution because a stronger government was needed. B. He was opposed or against the Constitution because the system of checks and balances made the government too weak. Or D. He was against or opposed the ratification of the Constitution because it did not have or lacked a Bill of Rights. It talks about these rights right here: liberty of the press, trial by jury. Number 12. Which phrase best completes this excerpt? One of the main problems with the blank was the government did not have the ability to tax and raise money. So what was not able to tax and raise money? A. Proclamation line of 1763. B. Articles of Confederation. Or C. U.S. Constitution. What goes in that blank? Number 13. The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations. He has quartered large bodies of armed troops among us. Declaration of Independence, 1776. Which provision of the Bill of Rights addresses this grievance? He quartered large bodies of armed troops among us. A. First Amendment on freedom of speech. C. Third Amendment against housing soldiers in your private homes. Or D. The Fifth Amendment on self-incrimination. 14. The powers not given to the United States by the Constitution, nor stopped by it to the states, are left to the states respectfully, or to the people. The 10th Amendment. This amendment in the Bill of Rights was intended to B. Reduce the rights of citizens of the United States. C. Limit the powers of the federal government. Or D. Assure federal control over state governments. 15. A group of American citizens attends a public meeting concerning taxes. At the meeting, everyone has a chance to express an opinion on the subject, so they're all able to say what they think on a subject. Which freedom guaranteed by the Bill of Rights applies to this situation? A. Freedom of religion. E. The right to petition. Or F, which is C on your choice sheet, freedom of speech. A, B, and C. 16. Which principle of the U.S. Constitution is illustrated by the diagram involving the three branches? Executive power, judicial power, legislative power. They make the laws, apply the laws, carry out the laws. Is this separation of powers, limits of government, or popular sovereignty? Three different separate powers. 17. The amendment process was included in the U.S. Constitution to provide blank. Amendment. B. Future flexibility to make changes and additions. C. Separation of powers between the three branches. D. Checks and balances. What is an amendment? 18. Which of the following was an argument used by anti-federalists against the U.S. Constitution? A. A stronger national government was needed to protect Americans from invasion. B. The creation of a strong national government would lead to too much power like the British government before. D. Americans could trust in the goodwill of their leaders to protect their individual liberties. 19. Which argument was used by the Federalists in favor of accepting the new U.S. Constitution? A. The new Bill of Rights provided enough protection for individual freedoms and liberties. So the Bill of Rights was a good thing. B. The national government needed stronger powers, while federalism and separation of powers would keep it from becoming too oppressive. Or C. The creation of a new national government was necessary to free slaves and impose higher taxes. Number 20. According to the Declaration of Independence, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness all are A. Subject to the King's will. C. Unalienable rights that belong to every citizen and can't be taken away. D. Rights of freedom Englishmen guaranteed by the Magna Carta. 21. Why was the Bill of Rights added to the U.S. Constitution? Why do we get the Bill of Rights? Why do we need that? A. To ensure that slavery would be banned throughout the nation. B. To allow former slaves to become citizens of the United States. Or C. To give individual rights to the people. Bill of Rights. 22. Which of these gave Americans the freedom of religion? Freedom of religion. B. Northwest Ordinance. C. First Amendment. D. Emancipation Proclamation. 23. Which of the following is guaranteed to citizens by the Bill of Rights? Which of these is our right? B. The right to government-sponsored health care. C. The right to borrow money from a bank for a home loan. D. The right to trial by jury if accused of a crime. Which of those is the Bill of Rights? 24. We have the Declaration of Independence, the Bill of Rights, and the U.S. Constitution. In what way were these two documents similar? A. Both these documents criticized the extension of slavery in the new territories. B. Both called for the protection of individual rights. Or D. Both provided for equal treatment of American women. Last problem, number 26. You have the Articles of Confederation. These waves are going on top of the boat. No power to enforce the laws. No power to raise an army. These waves are going on it. No power to collect taxes. No national court system. No power to enforce treaties. So these waves are all going on top of the boat. The boat is the Articles of Confederation. So Articles of Confederation with the waves going on top of it. The main idea of this cartoon is that the Articles of Confederation were blank. A. Would carry the nation into the future. B. Had many weaknesses and problems that were bringing it down. D. Created a navy strong enough to protect against foreign invasion.